Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In this session we are going to explore Buddhism in a detailed yet simple way. We'll talk about the major sects of Buddhism, who the Bodhisattvas are, and what the Buddhist Sangha means and how rulers and followers help Buddhism grow across the world. By the end you will have a complete understanding of how Buddhism evolved and spread. Let's begin with the sects of Buddhism. In ancient times, Buddhism wasn't just one single school of thought. These were nearly 64 different sects or schools, each with its own interpretations of Buddha's teachings. As Buddhist teachers traveled and debated ideas, followers often shifted from one group to another, leading to constant growth and change among these schools. Over time, these numerous sects broadly divided into two main branches, Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana Buddhism, also known as Theravada, is the more traditional and conservative branch. Followers of this school viewed the Buddha as a great human teacher but not as a god. Their focus was mainly on individual liberation, freeing oneself from the cycle of birth and rebirth through discipline and meditation. Hinayana Buddhists did not worship images or deities, and their scriptures were primarily written in Pali. Subsects like Stavirvada, Sarvastivada, and Mahasangika developed with the school, each focusing on slightly different interpretations of Buddhist doctrine. Mahayana Buddhism, on the other hand, introduced new ideas that made Buddhism more spiritual and devotional. Followers of this school began to regard the Buddha as a divine being and emphasized compassion and the salvation of all living beings, not just individual enlightenment. They introduced the concept of Bodhisattva, enlightened beings who postpone their own liberation to help others reach enlightenment. Their scriptures were written in Sanskrit and practices such as image worship and devotion became common. Later, around 8th century BCE, another branch evolved out of Mahayana known as Vajrayana or Tantric Buddhism. This school emphasized ritual, chants, mantras, and meditation practices aimed at achieving enlightenment faster. With Mahayana, two important philosophical sub-schools are also developed: Yogacara, which focused on the power of the mind and meditation, and Madhyamaka, founded by the philosopher Nagarjuna, which emphasized the concept of Shunyata, the idea of emptiness, meaning that nothing possesses a permanent or independent existence. Now let's understand the concept of Bodhisattva in more detail. The word Bodhisattva literally means one who seeks enlightenment. A Bodhisattva is someone who has reached a high level of spiritual development and could attain nirvana but chooses to stay in the world to help others do the same. Some of the most well-known Bodhisattva include Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of the compassion, who is revered across Buddhist countries; Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of wisdom; Tara, the female Bodhisattva associated with protection and success; Vajrapani, symbolizing power; and Maitreya, believed to be the future Buddha who will appear when the teachings of the current Buddha have been forgotten. These bodhisattvas represent the ideals of compassion, wisdom, and service to others, core values of Mahayana Buddhism. Their stories and images continue to inspire millions of Buddhists even today. Next, let's talk about the Buddhist Sangha. The Sangha is the community of monks, nuns, and later lay followers who put together, preserve, and practice the teaching of Buddha. In the early Buddhism, the Sangha primarily consisted of ordained monks and nuns who renounced worldly life to follow strict monastic rules. Each monk or nun was allowed only 8 essential possessions, including robes, an alms bowl, a needle, belt, a razor, and a water strainer. These were the clear rules for discipline. For example, acts like stealing, killing, or lying about spiritual attainments could lead to expulsion from the Sangha. The Vinaya Pitaka, one of the main Buddhist scriptures, lays down these monastic codes in great detail, listing 227 rules for monks and 311 rules for nuns. The Sangha played a vital role in preserving the teaching. Monks recited and memorized Buddha's word, ensuring that they were passed down accurately through generation. Over time, lay people, those who don't live as monks or nuns, were also welcomed into the broader community. They were called the Upasakas, male lay followers, and Upasikas, female lay followers. The first lay disciples of Buddha were two merchants named Tapasu and Bhalika. Interestingly, women were not initially admitted to monastic order, but later Buddha's foster mother, Mahapajapati Gautami became the first nun, making an important step towards equality in spiritual practice. The Therigatha, a collection of verses written by earliest Buddhist nuns, give us insight into the lives and thoughts of this remarkable woman. Now let's discuss the followers and rulers of Buddhism and how this shaped its growth. After Buddha's death, several Buddhist councils were held to preserve and organize his teaching. The first Buddhist council took place at Rajgriha under the king Ajatashatru, where the monks were recited and compiled the Buddha's teaching into two main collections, the Sutta Pitaka teaching and the Vinaya Pitaka discipline. The second council was held at Vaishali under King Kalashoka, leading to the first major split between Theravada and Mahasangika schools. The third school, held at Pataliputra under the Emperor Ashoka, focused on removing corruption from the Sangha and spreading Buddhism far beyond India. Emperor Ashoka played a massive role in spreading Buddhism. After the Kalinga War, he adopted Buddhism as his guiding philosophy, promoting non-violence, moral living, and tolerance. He sent Buddhist missionaries to countries like Myanmar and beyond, and his inscriptions and pillars across India and South Asia still stand as proof of his dedication to spreading the Dhamma. Buddhism openness also attracted people from all castes and social groups. The Buddha rejected the rigid caste system of ancient India and emphasized equality, kindness, and personal effort. Both men and women, rich and poor, could join the Sangha or follow the Dhamma as lay practitioners. Now let's tie everything together. The story of Buddhism evolution is a story of spiritual growth, compassion, and constant adaptation. The sects, Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, represent different ways of interpreting and practicing the same core truth, the path to end suffering. The Bodhisattvas symbolize the highest ideas of compassion and wisdom. The Sangha keeps the teaching alive through practice, discipline, and community. And the followers and rulers, from the humble merchant to great emperor like Ashoka, played their parts in spreading the message across Asia and world. At its heart, Buddhism teaches the Four Noble Truths: that life involves suffering, that desire is the cause of suffering, the ending desire ends suffering, and that the Eightfold Path, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration leads to liberation. From the Buddha's humble beginning in Lumbini around 563 BCE to the vast Buddhist civilization that arose later, the journey of Buddhism is one of compassion, mindfulness, and inner peace. Today, millions of continue to follow these teachings, finding guidance in meditation, morality, and wisdom. So let's complete the story of the sects of Buddhism, the Bodhisattva, the Sangha, and the followers and rulers who helped shape this great spiritual tradition. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more history and philosophy explained in simple words. Drop a comment if you like to cover another part of Buddhist history next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.